Natalie, what about you?
I'm single. I've been single for like a year and a half. My longest relationship is probably about a year.
All right. And 1 year. No prospects? You've been when you were on a couple months ago, nothing in between?
Wait,
last time you were on, wasn't there a
that
little
did
something
not end
blossoming?
well.
There's a little something.
I was contemplating, because I don't want to go viral for this, because I don't want to disrespect Steve.
Wait, you were dating Steve Bannon? Good for you.
No.
He's a handsome guy.
Steve's a cat. Steve's
a
cat.
kid.
No,
Wait, is
no.
He's
Married?
Thrice
divorced.
Thrice?
Wait, what?
Do you want to be
Rice? No, the guy I was talking to.
Yo, shout out Steve Bannon.
Steve is the best. We love Steve.
We should get him on the show.
Well, he's a little busy starting in July.
Is he? What's the?
I go to prison.
Wait, what?
For how long?
For 4 months.
We can wait.
He'll be out. He'll be out in like.
He'll be out in the
90 days.
fall.
Right before the election.
60
no
days.
conspiracies, no coincidences, but I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about that.
Wait,
no,
can
the guy.
I haven't really been following that.
Yes.
What did they get him on?
Okay, so the TLDR on that is he technically, they say, defied a congressional subpoena which came from the January 6th committee, but it was an illegitimate sham committee comprised by the Democrats. So there is a small chance that if House Republicans get their act together and establish this like BLAG advisory group, that they can basically render that committee null and void, so then that subpoena would not really be in effect an actual subpoena. So
And it could be overturned, the
so both
prosecution.
Steve and currently Peter Navarro is serving a similar sentence. He's the only misdemeanor in a Miami-based correctional facility. Everyone else is felons, but he's technically still waiting on his appeal. But I would argue, and I feel like it's
Wait, Steve Bannon's appeal?
No, Peter Navarro,
okay.
one of Trump's top economic advisors. But the timing, to me, is very curious. War Room, like I said, is a very, very influential show on sort of the MAGA right in terms of getting people involved, and his sentence is going to overlap right to the run-up to the election. And you can already see MSNBC, the way they were covering, they were gloating on air about how it's going to be silencing our podcast and all that jazz. So again, Democrats ignore congressional subpoenas all the time. Nothing happens to them. But when it's not just Republicans, but anti-establishment Republicans, they always seem to get thrown in jail. But the story of, unrelated to that, so as you can imagine, I'm busy dealing with all of that. And if Steve goes to jail, I will likely have to take over the show. But I think that the guy that I was talking to last time, I feel like he was gay.
It happened.
That was a wild turn.
What?
Yeah. He was like, we should, I don't know if I want clips of me saying
You
this.
got this, Natalie.
He
You
was
should
like,
what?
we should, okay, let me just put this in context.
Sure.
So I'm hosting my show, okay, and I always have my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I open it when I get off air, like I'm expecting nothing to, whatever, like maybe a good morning text, I don't know. And I just open it, and it's just like stream of consciousness, like 20 texts, like we should S the D together. I really want to be on, like just crazy stuff. He sent pictures of other men's
That came out of nowhere?
Out of absolutely, I had known him for like 72 hours. I had I was
Excuse
like,
me?
what the literal F?
Did he get
It gets better. It gets better. I ignore it, okay? I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this. So I fly back home, and I think from my Instagram story or something, he sees that I'm home. He's like, hey, are you around? I'm like, oh, like, I'm busy. He's like, oh, I'm leaving town tomorrow. I was like, oh, like, too bad. The next day, he texts me. He's like, hey, so sorry. I just met someone that I'm going to start dating. You're really cool. We should be friends. But I'm going to, like, focus on her. And then kept texting me and, like, sending me really weird pictures, like, of where I live. So it got really weird.
Wait, the guy who's
The guy.
you thought was gay or was gay? The
Yeah.
same guy.
Well, I think
don't
he's
know.
closeted. I think he it's like a repressed thing. And it's like he didn't really want to have a three-way. He just wanted to be there for plausible deniability, so he wasn't gay.
Wait, how long did you know this guy? 3 days?
Like 3 days.
You knew him 3 days
How
and you
did you
brought
guys
him
meet?
up on the podcast?
How do you guys, like dating app? Or-
No, just out in Florida. We had mutual friends. We'd come
And so
from, like,
he
political world.
texted you and he said he wants to S the D. He wanted to S the D.
With me.
Like
at the same, like, yeah.
Wow, that's
Isn't that weird?
a lot.
I
That
know.
is
That's crazy.
weird.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He's probably not straight.
There's something funky there.
Little. I need.
Yeah. You dodged a bullet, girl.
What else? Anything else that he was saying? You said it was like a stream of consciousness.
Well, it was
Besides S-ing the D?
pictures
Of
like,
dudes.
yeah, that he wanted to.
Like just like
One of them
firemen,
looked like
firefighters.
AI.
He is not closeted, bro. He's
It was
out.
weird. Yeah, no, it was really weird. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what
this
to
person?
do.
What's going on in Florida, man? Something crazy.
Seriously, Florida was just
That's
rated the
crazy.
worst state to date in. That being said, there is
Yeah.
a new person that I'm talking to.
How many days has it been?
I know every time I call it whatever, there's always someone new, but it's like too early to say anything. It's been like a month.
Girl, be careful.
No, yeah,
anything
no,
weird yet?
nothing weird yet. Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's.
We're gonna
okay.
call it the Natalie Winters rule. You have to wait 72 hours before making a determination if a man's potentially gay or not. If you get any sus text from a guy within a 72-hour period, you've been wintered.
Isn't that
I don't know.
wild?
Damn, that's. His name is Steve?
No, yeah, this is so not Steve.
I don't know. Okay.
No. Steve is. I would be honored to find a man like Steve that is age appropriate, but I don't know if they make guys like that anymore.
So going back to Steve, is he, you think you were gonna get him out, or what? You know?
Get him out of prison.
Yeah. Once he got, does he have a report by
He has
date?
to report by July 1st, and even
Dang.
though he is a non-violent offender, no history of anything at all, they're trying to put. Usually, like maybe people are familiar with like Dinesh D'Souza or those type cases. They go to what's called like Club Fed, which is sort of like a low security, like bunk bed style. It's not like
Yeah.
hardcore, but they're putting Steve in like a hardcore maximum security with like child. I won't get into it all.
yeah.
Like really bad people, and even
Yikes.
potentially putting him in Rikers because he has another court case that's pending in the state of New York for other stuff. All of this being said, obviously, just like President Trump is a convicted felon, same with Steve, they're just going after them. It's obviously just lawfare, but it really is horrible what they're doing to someone who is, I think, one of the leading patriots in this country. I'm honored to work for him. And I'm sorry to bring him
messed
up
up.
after
Free
I just
Steve.
said what I was talking about. But yeah.
And it was just like he didn't respond to a subpoena. That's it.
Yeah, Eric Holder has defied subpoenas. Nothing happened to him. He was a Democrat, had to do with the Fast and Furious scandal. They just voted to hold Merrick Garland, the AG, currently in contempt of Congress. Nothing has happened to him. But like I said, it's really just because of the podcast. I mean, I'm sure you know when it comes to censorship and demonetization and all that, it's really just the culmination of years of censoring and deplatform. We're banned on YouTube and Spotify,
Damn.
so they just want them off air.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry to hear about what's going on with Steve. Sorry to hear what happened to you and that one guy. That's crazy.